Hey guys, now let's talk about tree diagrams, okay? So a tree diagram is a useful tool to determine a sample space for an experiment by listing out all the possible outcomes of a probability experiment. So suppose a coin is flipped and the result, heads or tails, is recorded. The coin is then flipped a second time and the result of this second trial is recorded. On the first level of the tree, list the two possible outcomes, heads or tails. Then represent the possible result of this first toss. If the first toss is heads, list the possible outcomes of the second toss on the branches leading to the second level. Do the same for the branches on the tree with the tails on the first toss. Here's an example of how this should look. So on your first toss, you can have either heads or tails, right? And then on your second toss, you can have either heads or tails. And then for the tails, you have heads or tails. So this is your first, long marker, sorry guys. This is your first toss. And then this is your second toss. Now they make theirs like vertically. I make mine horizontally, so mine look a little bit different. But it's just all in how you were taught. My teacher made theirs horizontally, so that's how I make mine. Obviously, their instructor made theirs vertically, so it's just all in how you're taught. It's the exact same thing. Okay, so looking at the second level, there are a total of 4 branches, right? From left to right, those 4 branches are head. See, head. Let's follow I'm going to do pink with this, okay? So you just follow the branches. So we go down this branch and we see that it's head, all right? And then we go down the next one and we see that it's head, tails. That's where they're getting these. Then this one is tail, head, and tail, tail, okay? Those 4 outcomes make up the sample space. So that's where they got those. The probability that both tosses or tails can be found in the tree diagram, like only 1 in 4 probability, right? Because both tosses or tails, right here, 1 in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's just one of those. So that's how you do that, right? So a fair coin is flipped 3 times. So you know you're going to have 3 different levels. Each flip is recorded as heads or tails. Use a tree diagram to determine the number of possible outcomes in the sample space. So they just want to know possible outcomes. Here you could draw it and then tell your possible outcomes down here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But you also know that you're going to flip a coin. Every time you flip, there's 2 outcomes, right? Because it's either going to be heads or tails. So you have 2 outcomes and you're going to flip it 3 times. So 2 cubed gives you 8. That's another fun way to find out what your total outcome is. Okay? That's a good way to check yourself. When you get to the bottom, you can count how many you have and then do 2 to the 3rd power because there's 2 outcomes for each toss. Raise it to the 3rd power and make sure that they match. Okay? It's an excellent way to check yourself. I'm going to leave you with these to work for yourself, work by yourself, and then, as always, you'll have the answer key. Okay? All right, guys. Have the best day.